Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for our championship preview and predictions. Round number 5. By the way, if anybody wants to film themselves doing, like we could invent a TikTok dance to that theme tune music, please do send it over because it's quite hard to sit still during that. All good fun. We are about to go through each of the 12 championship games that we're going to get over this weekend. I say over this weekend, they're all on Saturday this weekend. So 12 Saturday games for the championship. We're going to go through each and every one. You're going to let me know about team news and about expectations and what's been going on at your club. And then we're all going to make a prediction for every single game. I need your help on this one, so give it to me. Let me know that you can see me, hear me loudly and clearly. Over in the chat, do say hello. But most importantly, we need your ideas, your thoughts, your predictions. In this one, look up there, you can see we are sponsored by Betfair and Football 365 for all our preview shows this season. We thank them very, very kindly. Throughout the show, you will see some odds from our friends over at Betfair. If you want to add a little extra wrinkle to your football watching this weekend, you can do so over at Betfair. BeGambleAware.org. Please gamble responsibly. And of course, Football 365 is housing all of my written work this season. We are, well, to be honest, I've just been writing it right now, so it'll be up probably at some point this afternoon. The big weekend preview in written form. And we're going to be doing a tactical preview of the East Midlands derby between Darby and Nottingham Forest. Of course, you find that at football365.com. Shall we get into this one, guys? Loads of comments. We will take that as a hello to all of the comments, and we will get into the action straight away. You can see the running order along the bottom there. If anyone asks in the chat, when's he doing so-and-so? Please just point them to the running order down there. But you can see where we are starting. And should we try and do it a little bit differently today? Instead of just getting your predictions straight away, first of all, I want your thoughts and then I want your predictions. So we'll do your thoughts and then your predictions. So your thoughts on Fulham versus Stoke. Get your thoughts in, and then we'll go to the predictions at the end of kind of our analysis of what we think may or may not happen now. And get me your thoughts in on Fulham Stoke, which is, of course, first against third in the table. We've got a table. We've got one right there. You can see them both up at the top and both on 10 points. Of course, we expected Fulham to be sort of pushing at the top of the table. Year one parachute team. Very, very nice looking squad. Added a couple as well in terms of the absences. Well, lots of lone players that went out, but no kind of vital players that were owned by the club going out yet. That may still happen in this window. Let's just bring up what the bookies think. You can see not a lot of L's in that. These two sides both with 4 wins and a draw in their last 5. As you'd imagine, with the game being at the Cottage and Fulham being Fulham, they are favourites. They're 6-5 on with Betfair. Stoke's a nice price, though, isn't it? 7-2. And the reason that Stoke is a nice price is because they're playing very, very well and continuing to befuddle and confuse me. Stoke. We all saw that incredible goal that they scored the other day. We now have Wilmot and Ostigard. Who's the other centre-half? Suter, kind of playing it out from the back, and Vrancic in there's a little bit classy, isn't he, in midfield? They look good, Stoke, don't they? Very, very confusing. Wait for a second for your predictions. Let's put some thoughts up here. Harry says Fulham with the edge on this one, slightly bit more quality. Sloth concern with Stoke. We've created the most big chance in the league. Don't feel we're taking enough from creating the most of them is a good start, though. Excellent. Sean, Stoke have been good, but I don't see Fulham losing. Difficult game for Fulham. Stoke have had a good start. Lee, a first real test of Stoke's improvement. I agree with that, Lee. Stoke's wins so far have all been currently 16th in the league or lower. So it's a real chance for Stoke to make a statement in this one. Right, shall we go to predictions? Thank you for your comments. Keep them coming. Sorry if I didn't quite read them out on that one. Right, predictions, please. Fulham, draw, or Stoke, please. Predictions, Fulham, draw, or Stoke. Do Fulham keep pushing on with this great start of theirs in the Championship this season, go on to 13 points from their first 5 games. Remember, international break. After this, Fulham can park themselves right up at the top of the league. Or could Stoke make a real sign of intent? I said on the Championship 365 show that we might all be a little bit blur if Fulham thrash Stoke in this one, because you're kind of saying, oh, where are the challenges coming for these year one parachute teams? But what are you going to do? Right, let's see what you guys are saying then on the predictions. Draw, Fulham, draw. Fulham, draw, Fulham. Carvalho injured. That'd be bad news for him, obviously. Good news for Stoke. Hope he's okay. Fulham, draw, Fulham, home, Stoke. Fulham, as you can imagine, are edging it. Stoke biased, but some logic. Is that allowed? There we go. I think we've got them all in there. You lot are kind of behind Fulham. There were a fair few shouts for a draw on that one, as in Stoke could probably close it down. And Middlesbrough didn't they? Middlesbrough managed to sort of frustrate Fulham in that first game of the season. I just wonder whether Fulham have clicked into an extra gear since then. I do agree with the comments. It's the biggest test so far for Stoke. Bear in mind, I always get Stoke wrong. I'm going to risk home. We'll go for a home win for Fulham in this one, which would be a little bit ominous, wouldn't it? They'd be on 13 points from the first 5 games. But Stoke does look like the improvement is real, and we'll keep an eye on that as we go. Right, talk to me, guys. Thoughts, first of all. Don't worry about your predictions just yet. Peterborough versus West Bromwich Albion is game number 2. Get me your thoughts in on Peterborough, West Brom, and we will go to your predictions in just a second. It is the 8 p.m. game on Sky Sports, so you'll be able to watch this one. I think I'm going to be doing Forest Derby and then the Super Stream, so I don't think I'm going to be streaming this one. But hey, my sort of timetable is up for grabs each and every day at the moment with a 2-week-old baby. Let's pop up the odds from Betfair. Let me know how you think this one may play out. Give me your thoughts first before your predictions, and then we'll do the predictions there. So Peterborough, God, look at that, 4-1 to win a home game there. West Brom 8-11, so 11-8 favourites away from home. West Brom are creating monster amounts of chances, aren't they? And they've just signed Jordan Hugill on loan, who's a very useful big lump up top at Championship level, isn't he? And with those long throws and those set plays, he could fill his proverbial boots, couldn't he, at West Brom? May still even be used as a sub like he was for Norwich last season, but certainly a good guy to have around. Hugill. Peterborough, we praised for being able to stick the ball in the back of the net. However, they're down in 17th. Last time out, they couldn't do that at Preston. A shutout by Preston with Pat Bauer returning. And Peterborough lose that 1-0. At home, though, Peterborough did have that late win against Darby. Should have beaten Cardiff, shouldn't they? They were 2-0 up, and it was a Aidan Flint double and a very, very late goal to get the draw. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here. George, Matt Clark injured for 6 weeks. Interesting. Robinson self-isolating. I hope Matt Clark recovers quickly, of course. Maybe Hugill gets on the pitch then. George, Baggy's too much strength. What else are we saying? Peterborough not bad at home. Could be a high scorer. Could be a dominating win. It could be a 3-1 or a 4-2 or something like that for sure. Everyone talking about the power of West Brom. I do agree. I think West Brom will be too strong. I can see Peterborough scoring. West Brom, yeah. So I think both teams to score on this one seems quite a good bet. Nappers, bless him, has got COVID, but he will be on later. What a trooper at 7 p.m. Check us out. We will be around tonight, assuming he gets through the afternoon okay. Get well soon, Nappers. We'll speak to him later. Peterborough's focused on scoring rather than pragmatism. I can see this losing by a large margin. Well, there we go. Damien, Peterborough in and around what I expected. Decent team, but league goals. West Brom poor last night. Yeah, it's West Brom reserves, wasn't it? We can have a debate about the League Cup, actually, because it was a bit of a washout, wasn't it? But there we go. Peterborough need their keeper to come for everything. Yeah, they do bully goalkeepers, don't they? Poor Sheffield United goalkeeper Verips. Right, predictions then. Let's do it. Peterborough, just put Posh to save yourself typing. Posh, draw, or West Brom. Posh, draw, or West Brom. Let me know what you think on this one. Get your predictions in. Remember, with Betfair, West Brom favourites, you'll make a load of money if you bet on Peterborough and they win on this one. Let's have a look and see what you were saying. Baggies, where am I going here? Baggies, West Brom, West Brom, West Brom. Yeah, you're all over this one, aren't you, guys? Got any Peterborough fans in? Fly the flag here. Away. Get well soon, younger Ben. Thanks, Iain. Yeah. West Brom. Draw. There we go. West Brom. I think we got, there's a couple in there. But look, I'm going to go with the chat then. And Big Val to pick up another win. Away. An away win for West Brom. And you tell me, well, don't tell me because I think you probably all say yes. Are they going to score from another set play or the second phase from a set play? It's already happened like 4 or 5 times this season in only 4 games. Sensational stuff. Right. QPR versus Coventry. Good luck with this one. 2 sides who are in pretty good form. Get your thoughts in first, then we'll do predictions. So QPR in 5th on 8 points. Coventry in 4th on 9 points. Remember, Coventry, the kings of the late goal with a 96th and a 98th minute winner already this season. QPR appeared to have Ronald Koeman playing centre-back for them, but we've talked about him far too much already, although Barnsley took QPR to school for about 30, 40 minutes of that Sky game last week, didn't they? However, QPR did ultimately come back and get the draw, and they now have 8 points, and they're still undefeated. Get your thoughts in on QPR versus Coventry. Let's see what the fine people over at Betfair say about this one. Go on. Refresh. There we go. Lovely. So QPR favourites there at 6-5. Coventry, despite being above Rangers, 1 place above Rangers in the league and 1 point, are the outsiders in this away game. They are 12-5. Let's have a look at your thoughts, and then we'll get your predictions in this one. QPR will win, or Cov will somehow pull out a 90. There's going to be a late goal in this game, isn't there? There just is going to be. You just kind of know either side. Both teams going well. I think Coventry will slip up eventually. What else are we saying? Should be a really good game. Scoring draw, I'm going to say. It should be a good watch, shouldn't it, if anyone is going. Wish this one was on Sky. Yeah, QPR were on last week. It'd be nice to see Coventry on Sky. Coventry were on against Forest already, weren't they? Fancy QPR. Coventry had a nice start to the season. Fixture rate, yeah, they're taking the points, though, haven't they? All good. QPR struggled without recognised fullbacks last week, but now have McCallum Odebajo back. Yeah, good point, Julius. Coventry on form. I took Rangers to do well at the start of the season. What else are we saying? There's Matt. First tough test for us, Cov. For me, it's a draw. Are you going, Matt? You might be able to see a vlog on that one if Matt's going. I'm sure he'll be at the game, won't he? What else do we say on this one? Tough test. Biggest by far of the season. Cov, a slightly worse version of QPR. I think that's a compliment because QPR are good, aren't they? Right, loads of comments on this one. Apologies if I didn't get them. Let's do predictions. So, QPR, draw or Cov? QPR, draw or Cov? Get your predictions in for this one. I'll take the opportunity to take a sip out of this vast bucket of coffee that fuels me with my lack of sleep here. Right, what are you guys saying here then? Okay, draw, Rangers. Stop it on Dicky, God, what a player. QPR, draw, scored, draw, QPR, Cov, but you're playing the Joker as well. QPR, draw, QPR, Cov, QPR, mainly on... there's not a lot on Cov. There's plenty on a draw on this one, or a scoring draw. Hopefully I'm getting all of those up there. I don't think Coventry will win. I think I'm going to land on all you guys who were saying draw on this one. Do you think they'll equalise in the 90... So what we had, 96, 98, 94 or 97th minute? Waghorn or something for Coventry. Go on then. Draw... We'll go with the chat. Rangers to stay unbeaten, and probably both sides to stay in the... will they stay in the top six? Maybe not if there's a draw. You think one of them might drop out with a draw, but we will see. I'll go for draw in that one then, and we will move on to the seven-side derby between Cardiff and Bristol City. That's 2 in a row for Bristol City, the Welsh teams, isn't it? Get your thoughts in on Cardiff versus Bristol City. 12:30 kickoff, that one. It's not on Sky, though. It's Derby and Forest on Sky. Get your thoughts in. Bristol City are off to play away at Cardiff. Bristol City are down in 15th spot. A bit like close but no cigar with Bristol City. They're kind of dining out on that win at Reading. Really should have beaten Blackpool opening day, shouldn't they? And ifs, buts and maybes against Swansea. I've got a funny feeling if they'd have taken the lead in that game, Bristol City, I think it might have looked a lot different. I know that's easy to say, but even with 85 minutes to go when they had the good chance. Bristol City stuck in there on 4 points. Cardiff have 8 points as well, and they're having a lovely old time, aren't they? I think Ryan Giles has already got 4 assists. Aidan Flint's already got 4 goals. The top scorer in the league, Aidan Flint, the centre-half. Marlon Pack is doing his David Beckham and Dave Challoner impression joined together there. It's good fun at the moment, Cardiff, I have to say. And good luck stopping, what is it now? Kiefer Moore, Nelson, Morrison, Flint with the... supply from Giles and Pack. Very dangerous proposition, isn't it? So Cardiff are odds on. They're 20-21. Bristol City 29-10 with our friends at Betfair. Let us know your thoughts on this one. Kiefer's last goal for Cardiff off a Giles cross, obviously. Wait with your predictions, and then we'll stick them all in there. Cardiff, good deliveries into the box, and Flint on fire. Do you guys agree with me that Flint is... I said it I think Morrison's better in the air than Flint, I have to say. I think they're so busy looking after Morrison. Flint's filling his boots, aren't they? Cardiff have an amazing team. No one's going to be allowed to watch that unless you're on the old VPN. Cardiff will bully them all over the pitch. Cardiff to bully Bristol City has a 1-0 Big Mick written all over it. You can see that, can't you? Flint's going to be at it now. Sean Morrison looks like he's going to be... Oh, interesting. Okay. We need a win, but it's going to be McCarthy shut out. Yeah. And you're not confident from... Even with his Bristol City hat on. Chris Martin has won the most aerial duels this season. Has he really? Interesting. Performances have been good for Bristol City. Results not coming. Tommy, Cardiff impressive against Mill. Should be a Cardiff win, but Bristol City could pull off something. Let's get your predictions in there for me then, please. Cardiff, draw, or Bristol City, please, in the predictions. Cardiff, draw, or Bristol City. A Mick McCarthy clean sheet and a set play goal. Or let's be honest, you're looking at Vyman, Scott for Bristol City to make something happen, maybe for Martin up top. Let's see what you guys are saying. Right, Cardiff, City, Cardiff. Cardiff. There you go. Bristol City, Cardiff. Yeah, you were all over it this one. I think we are kind of decided on this one. And I'm going to agree with you lot then, which would give Mick 11 points from 5. Woof. You love to see. We said it'd be open underneath the 4 parachute teams, didn't we? So, look, I haven't even put it up yet, have I? Let's do it. Home. Big Mick, clean sheet. Flint, Morrison, Nelson, whoever, whether they're fit or not. We'll go for Cardiff in that one then. Right, let's move on. Hull versus Bournemouth. Get your thoughts in on Hull versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth also have 8 points. Decent enough start for Bournemouth. They're actually better away from home than they are at home. They've drawn both of their home games 2-2. They're actually a bit leaky, aren't they? 5 goals against in the 4 games. But hey, they've stuck 8 in the other way. In the away games, they've beaten Birmingham and they've beaten Forest, Bournemouth, and they're against newly promoted Hull. When can I stop calling Hull, Peterborough, newly promoted, and Blackpool? When does that run out? Game 10? I don't know. Hull have lost 3 on the bounce. And I think there's 7 goals without reply as well in those 3 games. A worrying run for Hull after such a good start. And I don't know, you're a bit concerned about Jaden Anthony, David Brooks, Stanislas Solanke scored twice against. There's a lot of attacking quality we know at Bournemouth, don't we? So we suspect we might see Cahill as well make his debut there. So again, the haves and the have-nots, but don't start me on that one. Keep your thoughts coming in. We do predictions in just a minute. They're not odds on, but they are favourites. Bournemouth 11-10 away at Hull, with Hull at 12-5. Our friends over at Betfair will give us that. Eddie says Hull were toothless tiger, very nice, at the Cottage. What else are we saying? Moncur out suspended. Despite what happened in midweek, Cherries will have too much. But yeah, another hammering. They got hammered at Norwich, didn't they? But again, reserve teams and whatnot. Hull always seem to have high-scoring games. Yeah, it could be that way, couldn't it? Could be that way. Phil Hull had the potential to give Bournemouth a game. Can't see anything other than an away win. Right, shall we do your predictions in there? I think we'll go from Hal's one there. Get your predictions in there, please. Hull, draw, or Bournemouth. Get your predictions in. Hull, draw, or Bournemouth in this one. I suspect we might be fairly heavy on Bournemouth after a pretty decent start by Scott Parker. Remember, players to come back for Bournemouth as well. Some very good players to come back. Let's see what you guys are saying. Bournemouth draw. Bournemouth draw. Bournemouth. You're all over it. Draw. Bournemouth. Let's keep these coming. Although Nathan's played his joker there. He's just championship in it. Could never rule that out. Saxbend has got Hull as well. There we go. Tigers don't like cherries. Interesting. Lerma back after suspension. He's always good fun, isn't he? Lerma after a 6-game suspension. Whether you like him, I know the Watford fans don't like him, but he's box office old Jeff Lerma, isn't he? Go on then. I'll go with you lot. Hull may be able to... is Wilkes back yet for Hull? They may be able to get on the score sheet, but I think Brooks and Solanke and Anthony and Stanislas, etc., are going to have too much. Away! Bournemouth to win at Hull. And we're going to go on to, I don't like the look of this one to call. Barnsley versus Birmingham. Good luck. Get your thoughts in on this one. Last weekend, Birmingham were our team of the week with a prodigious 5-0 win over at Luton. Birmingham are not going to win 5-0 every week. Scott Hogan scored twice. Taith Chong was frankly taking the mick, wasn't he? So very positive week for Birmingham last week over at Luton. And look, we always compare Luton and Barnsley, don't we? And they get Barnsley this week. Barnsley were really good at the start of that QPR game. And I don't know whether your glass is half full or half empty with Marcus Schopp yet, because on the one hand, yeah, they were really good. String that out for 90 minutes and you're laughing. But on the other hand, they didn't win. They drew 2-2. And where are Barnsley in the league at the moment? 13th on 5 points. Birmingham up in 8th. Only defeat for Birmingham was at home to Bournemouth. And they have played 2 of the Parachute boys already. Birmingham. So I suppose it's a pretty decent start for Blues. Keep your thoughts coming in. We'll do predictions in a minute. Let's see what our friends at Betfair are saying about this one. Who have they got as favourites? They have got nothing in it. They've got Barnsley at home as the favourites, 11-10. Birmingham are 12-5 on that one. So maybe they've gone a bit on home advantage in last season's positions. Let's see what you guys are saying. Steve, Blues defence better than Barnsley. Blue to win. Go the Messiah, King Chong. He's going to be good fun, isn't he, Chong, this season? Let's hope he stays fit, because I'm enjoying him. I think we're all enjoying him, aren't we? If Barnsley can deliver the whole 90, I'd go home, but suspect that's difficult with the way they press. Have we got any Barnsley fans watching? When are the 2 Belgian fellas got their visas sorted? Do we get to see them this weekend, or is that going to be post international break? If Barnsley don't deal with Chong, fancy us, he's going to start getting man-marked very, very soon, isn't he? Barnsley inconsistent at present. I think Brum can nick this. Any other comments here? Danny, Barnsley incredibly underrated. Not over here, my friend. Not over here for sure. But I think Birmingham will be confident after beating Luton. Chong will tear you apart again, will he? Right, predictions, everybody, please. Barnsley draw or Blues? Barnsley draw or Blues? Get your predictions in for this one. I think this is a hard one to call, I have to say. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if Barnsley won or if Birmingham won this one. There's no real shocker in this one. Get your predictions in. Remember, with Birmingham, you don't just have to deal with Chong. There are the Jutkovic and the throw-ins and all of that good stuff as well. Right, draw. Blues. Barnsley, score draw, Blues. Barnsley draw with very mixed Blues. I think you're pushing on Birmingham, you lot, aren't you? 2-2 Blues. Home win 4-2 Barnsley. Allaire has his visa. Iseka doesn't. Both feature after the. Thank you, Daniel, for the info. So still, I know Freese is good and Woodrow's good. A bit light up front compared to last season, where they still had sort of Chaplin as an option and DK was very good. Wasn't he? Let's put the rest of these up. I'm struggling with this one. I really, really am. I think I might cut this one right down the middle, to be honest. I think I'm going to go for a scoring draw. So I think it's a scoring draw. I don't see either side shutting the other out. It'd be interesting to see how, because it could well be Callum Stiles and Taith Chong, 2 very good players in the same area of the pitch. They're both trying to do a bit of attacking. So, yeah, it should be interesting. Borough versus Blackburn. Comments, please. Thoughts. Borough versus Blackburn. I remember this being the game that Borough didn't turn up in the Premier League, and they got a 3-point. Did they get a 3-point penalty or a 3-0 win and ended up going down? I may be misremembering that. I think it might have been the opposite way around in the away game. But hey, that's the first thing I think of when I see these two teams. Get your thoughts in. Borough versus Blackburn. There are your odds. Borough are favourites at 11 to 10. Blackburn, the outsiders, at 5 to 2 with our friends, our sponsors, Betfair. Blackburn have had a good start, haven't they? Although they did lose last time out. It's at home to West Brom. West Brom are good, aren't they? Couple of players in for Blackburn, but no big fee. The Armstrong money not particularly being spent in terms of actual tangible transfer fees. So Blackburn in 9th. Good position, that actually, considering, with 7 points. Borough, only 1 win so far this season. Couple of draws in there with Darby and Fulham. The victory came against Bristol City, and that balmy defeat in which Mr. Warnock went typically apoplectic. So Borough are below Blackburn in the table, but we've got a few tricky ones to call this week, haven't we? Let's see your guys' thoughts on this one. Borough to get burned. Interesting. What else are we saying? Battle of very experienced managers. Yeah, even with Mowbray's experience, he doesn't touch the Warnock. Draw written all over it. Probably at least 4 bookings per side. Maybe a penalty each, and one serious injury. You love to see it. Blackburn looked okay in patches, but we could have scored about 8 goals. Blackburn should match most clubs, though. Yeah, I reckon Paveda will play Leeds 2021. I'm interested to see how he does at championship level. Right, let's get your predictions in then. Borough, draw, or Blackburn? Borough, draw, or Blackburn? And the Armstrong goals do seem to have been replaced after a fashion, 6 from 4 games, mainly by Ben Brereton Diaz. So the goals are going in at a rate of 1.5 per game. I can see lots of draw-knock predictions here in the chat. Let's go for it here. Draw, ball, draw, Borough. Draw, 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 draw. Borough. Draw, draw. Draw. There you go. Some confidence, Alex. Borough going to dominate. Draw, draw. Gareth, you're about 20 minutes behind on that one, I think, buddy. Blackburn. There we go. Let's see. Have I got all your predictions that we want to try and get all of them up? There we go. Right. I think Warnock might catch out Mowbray in this one. I don't know why. I've got no logic for that prediction. Who needs it? Ikpeazu, Jones, home. There we go. Who needs logic behind a prediction, hey? Huddersfield versus Reading. Huddersfield versus Reading. Get me your thoughts in on Huddersfield versus Reading. Huddersfield looking good, actually. 10th in the league. Sorba Thomas is balling. 2 victories. Caveat against Preston and Sheffield United, who've kind of been stinking it out at the times where Huddersfield played. But hey, beat who's in front of you. Huddersfield have got 7 points. So they've had a decent start. They have still, Huddersfield, conceded 7 goals in the 4 games. Obviously, 5 of those at the hands of Fulham in that home game. Reading have 3 defeats already. Only Forest have lost all 4 or more than Reading. There's a few teams who've got 3 defeats thus far. The only Reading win came against Preston, so we can match that up a little bit with Huddersfield. They look very reliant on John Swift. And Reading have already lost 3-2 twice. So they look quite easy to score against in that respect. 9 goals against for Reading means they have the worst goals against column in the division. And remember, Luton have had 5 past them and Huddersfield have had 5 past them as well. So interesting. Let's have a look at your thoughts before we get to the predictions. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. Let me just bring up the info from the fine people at Betfair on Huddersfield versus Reading. I wonder which way they'll go on this one. You try and predict it, don't you? There you go. So no one's odds on. Huddersfield favourite 7-5. Reading, big odds there, 2-1. Not quite the 4-1 that Peterborough are, but still nice price for Reading, who, of course, finished fair distance above Huddersfield last season. Let's see what you lot are saying on here. There we go, Mr. Football. I really do see us winning this game. A really good performance against Everton. Probably should have won the game. Did they play a home full team against Everton? Terriers, 2 wins on the trot. Can see them edging this one. Huddersfield are playing all the jokers early. There we go. I think they'll struggle once the fixture list gets less kind. Huddersfield is a team likely to score goals. Late last 2 comes. I don't know what that means, Luke. Sorry. I think you're saying they're quite open. They might score lots and concede lots, but maybe a typo in there. Chris. Huddersfield again surprising me since change of keeper. Reading have problems up front, but a very leaky defence. McIntyre's out for 3 months as well. Interesting. Right. Predictions, please. Huddersfield, draw, or Reading? Huddersfield, draw, or Reading? Let me know what you think in the chat. Huddersfield, draw, or Reading? There is no joker to play on this one, is there? Because there's not really a shock result in this one. I don't think. Let's have a look then. Draw, Huddersfield, draw, Huddersfield. There's no way. Huddersfield. O'Brien back. Did he play in the last game, I think, didn't he? Draw. Draw. Huddersfield, draw. Huddersfield, Reading, draw. Huddersfield. Reading, Huddersfield. Reading, Huddersfield, draw, Huddersfield. Very mixed on that one. On the basis, I've already gone for a couple of draws. I'm going to miss that one out. Let's go for a decisive result in this one. I don't know whether this counts as a joker. Let's go. I don't know why. I should have go for Red. Coventry really did outnumber Reading. They were quite good value, weren't they? Despite the... I might completely flip now. I was just going to go for Reading. Home. Go on then. Go on. Why not? Let's go for Huddersfield. If Reading have got problems at the back and Ijaria's not there and Maite's not there and Xiao's not there, that put Reading in trouble, actually, wouldn't it? Be 4 defeats and 5. That would also put Huddersfield on 10 points from 5, which I certainly wouldn't have expected. There we go. Right, 4 to go, guys. Let me do a little bit of Q&A to end with. Here we go, then. It's Sheffield United time. They've been good fun all season. Luton versus Sheffield United. Get me your thoughts in. Don't give me your predictions yet. We'll do them when we've heard people's thoughts. Now, I sit here every week and I say, if you don't turn up against Luton, they'll beat you. So you would imagine Sheffield United aren't turning up against anybody at the moment, but Luton lost 5-0 last week. Look, if Luton bounce back and get to their normal level, the way things are at Sheffield United at the moment, you would not be surprised by Luton taking the 3 points at the Kenny. We do have to remember United have got loads of good players that have played in the Premier League and done very well in the Championship as well, a lot of them before. So they're not performing. Go figure. Let's see what Betfair is saying, and then we'll have a look at your thoughts. Slight favourites, Sheffield United. I'm guessing on reputation rather than anything else, being it's been a very muddy start. Luton 9-5 might not be a bad price. That one nearly 2-1. Luton, aren't they? But there, of course, will be a point, surely, where Sheffield United click. you would think. Will it be this week? Who knows? Let's have a look and see what you guys can come up with. Joker Blades to finally start. They have been playing their Joker every week, the Blades, haven't they? Deary me. Luton could still be shell-shocked. Chance for Blades to get off the mark. Steve, we will learn a lot about ourselves in this one. They really need to bounce back. Luton can catch anyone cold, indeed. When Sheffield United get their first points, I fancy it to be away from the pressure of home. A shock here with the Blades taking the points. There we go. Hal is going. To be honest, today will be brilliant as per, and then the football will start. So wave at me as you come down the M1, Hal, although I'll probably be doing Forest and Derby at that point, unless you get in there early. Although, as much as Luton is a very beloved place, and my child was born there recently, don't know why you're going to turn up there early. Maybe have a couple of drinks, but there you go. Bradley and Burke are back from injury, says Liam. Expect Onyedinma to start. Jordan Clark, a big... Oh, is he okay? That's a horrible injury, that one. Can't see Luton dropping any points here. They'll be desperate to put Birmingham behind them as well. Ridley Blades were lucky to beat Darby in the Cup on Tuesday. Still have a lot to do. Luton win. Sheffield United to click next season, maybe. It's not happening yet, is it? Should have had a team of the week last week. Yeah, right. Cal Naismith said the team 0-1 to the fans. They certainly do after that one, don't they? Hope to see Gomez feature for Luton. Has he not played yet, Steve? Luton generally solid at home. Blades big problems at the moment. Bingley Blade, I love it. Trying for a bit of reverse psychology here. Luton, there we go. Right, let's do predictions then, please. Luton, draw or Blades in this one. Luton, draw or Blades. Remember, on paper, on reputation, on salary, on income, is Sheffield United every time. But they are rubbish at the moment. 1 goal and 1 point for Blades, and Luton are a very viable championship team, aren't they? Let's see what you guys are saying then. Here we go. Blades, Luton draw. Luton, Blades, Luton, Blades. Luton, Blades, Luton, Blades, Luton. No draws in here then. Let's see if we can slide all the way down. So you'll get your predictions written up on the screen. Lee. We've got to get Lee on the Patreon round table as well. He needs some counselling, the poor guy, doesn't he? Although Lee sent me a funny Blades picture, which I tweeted the other day. He needs all the credit for that. They got like hundreds of likes on Twitter, which was good fun. Right, let me tell you what I think is going to happen. Well, I'll tell you in one word that begins with D. Draw. I just feel like Luton will be a bit ravaged after the 5-0 and will be happy not to lose this one. Blades, let's just be honest, are going to be happy to score a goal and not lose either. A draw kind of suits both going into the international break. And Luton, 7 points from 5 will be, it's fine, isn't it? And Sheffield United just need get out of everybody's sight, do some work, and come back and attempt to stick the ball in the net and not rely on 50-year-old Billy Sharp to be doing it. As much as I'm a big fan of Billy Sharp, there are younger strikers there who should be stepping up now. Anyway, let's not go chapter and verse on Sheffield United. We all know what's going on there. Right, here we go then. Derby versus Forest. I'm fascinated to know what you guys think of this one. It's the Brian Clough Derby. Derby versus Forest. Let's have a look and see what Betfair say straight away. This is the 12:30 kickoff. I haven't figured out exactly what we're doing on Saturday. We may well be doing this one for Betfair actually as well. So I'll have a chat and figure out what we're doing. We may be doing this as a watch along. 13-8 Derby. Forest are 2-1. And the draw is 2-1. So you're making money any way around. Put it this way, the bookies are not sure on this one. Look, Forest have been awful. They are bottom of the league. They have 0 points and they've lost all 4 of their games against Coventry late on, Bournemouth as parachute team, Blackburn at home, and Stoke last week. They didn't really lay a glove on Stoke either, did they? So Forest are in the mud. Before the season, if you'd have told me Derby are playing Forest on round 5, I mean, you could have because the fixtures would have been out, but with the caveat that one team will be 14th and one team will be 24th, I would have had Derby 24th and Forest 14th. Seems like the opposite way around, doesn't it? We said we keep repeating the same narrative about Derby. I think that's because it's true that Derby's first 11 is all right. And they've managed to bring in, Rooney's done a fairly good job of bringing in numbers. So sort of Baldock and Morrison and Stearman re-signing Davies. Who's the other centre-back they signed? Jagielka as well. They just needed bodies, didn't they? And essentially, it's quite simple for Derby. Don't get to a point where you can't get a reasonable team out and go for the siege mentality. And they've done well so far, Derby, haven't they? Only one defeat. That was against Peterborough. They shouldn't have lost that game, should they? Come on. You're leading going into stoppage time. Doesn't matter how well the rest of the game's gone. Don't lose. Come on. Draws against Huddersfield and Borough and a victory against Hull. One could say that the fixtures have been reasonably easy on Derby. You know, Huddersfield, Peterborough, Hull and Borough. Haven't played any real hard games. So, I don't know. Cliches about form going out the window in a Derby match. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. And there are plenty. No reason Derby can't win this game. We're actually playing all right. Dominating possession, moving the ball nicely. Rooney ball is clear to see now. Lewis, we've been playing so much better recently. Josviak and Sibley in the last 3 games caused problems. Get at Forest's fullbacks. What else are we saying? We haven't beaten Forest in a while. These games are always 0-0. Tell me about it. Always been 0-0 or 1-1. I've been to several of them in recent years. Derby are overachieving. Forest are underachieving. Can't see that changing. Ravel Morrison will run midfield. Fact. And I expect Derby to dominate the game. Opinion. There we go. Forest were awful against us last week. The draw, I think, is the most they can hope for. Forest look poor. Expect Derby to do well for the first couple of months. Well, their squad depth doesn't affect them. Yeah, that is a good thing. A good point, Nathan. Derby get those points on the board before the injuries come and the transfer window comes. You can see a bit of a lull points-wise at Derby, maybe November, December, hopefully as late as possible for the Derby fans. Derby not exactly full of goals. Forest losses all tight. Local Derby and Houghton's job on the line. Gotta be a draw. 0-0, everybody. This has scrappy game written all over it. Hopefully Garner will make the difference for us. Just a shot on target would be nice. Max Lowe, ex-Derby, joining us on loan, apparently. Really? Can Sheffield United afford to be loaning players out at the moment? You get some wins and some goals. Right, predictions, please, then. Derby, draw, or Forest? I haven't got a clue. Derby, draw, or Forest on this one in the local derby. Let me know what you think right now. Get your predictions in. Derby, draw, or Forest. Let's see what we're saying here. Draw, Derby. Forest to save Houghton's neck. He is under pressure. Derby. Oh, God, sorry. Right, where did I get to? There we go. Derby, draw, and not enough to save Houghton. Marianakis loves a firing early in the season. Loves a firing at Christmas. Loves a firing at close season. He just loves a firing, doesn't he? Draw, Forest, Derby, draw, Derby, draw, Derby, draw, Derby. Not a lot of love for Forest here. Draw, Derby, deforestation day. There you go. Forest, draw, Derby. I have no earthly idea what the result in this one's going to be. Normally in this situation, I add up all the logic, and then because it's the championship, I say the complete opposite. So that is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to be playing my joker on this one. So let's add up all the logic. Forest aren't very good. Derby are sort of doing pretty well and in a good moment. The job is on the line for Houghton. In theory, you'd have Derby winning this one. So I'm going to play my joker and flip that completely on its head. And you can't tell me off because it's my joker. away. We'll just go for some ridiculous reverse championship logic because everything says problems for Forest in this one. So let's predict them to win it. Why the hell not, hey? Right. 2 more to go, guys. Preston versus Swansea. Get your thoughts in on this one. Preston versus Swansea. Swansea did bust a few preconceptions for me the other night against Bristol City. They weren't 100% tippy-tappy overplaying. We did see a little bit of a variation in passing. I think Pirro as a focal point makes a difference. Russ Martin loves Ethan Laird, and he made his debut as well. But I did still see them concede chances from not quite being able to do what Russ Martin was asking them. So Preston finally got a win, didn't they? Who did Preston beat in the it was at Peterborough last week? And Patrick Bauer returned and scored. So important at both ends. Get me your thoughts in on Preston and Swansea. Preston are 20th on 3 points. Swansea are 16th on 4 points. So neither side is over a point per game, but not completely in the mud on a 0 or a 1, or, well, even a 2, I suppose, is a bad start, isn't it, at 0.5 points per game. Our friends at Betfair have some odds there if they come up. There we go. And Swansea are outsiders there at 11-5 for the away win. Preston are 13-10 in this one. You would suspect that if Preston were to win this, it would be, I don't know, kind of, don't want to sound disrespectful here, but a rudimentary approach that Swansea couldn't cope with, i.e. a bit of intensity, a bit of up and at them, and that's enough to knock Swansea down. And you would think if Swansea were winning this, it would be possession and actually creating maybe sort of an actual decent amount of chances, which hasn't necessarily been happening so far. Preston, momentum. Are they winning the Carabao? Honestly, I wasn't following the Carabao. I should call Preston Swansea to be the least eventful game of the championship this week. There we go. 4-4 draw then. Con, I think we are starting to gel, improve. If Pirro starts, feel we can win this. We may be signing Connor Wickham. Who's we? Slamming Sam. What Preston? Preston need him more than Swansea need him. I think if they've got Pirro, but there we go. Right. Let's get your predictions in then, please. Preston, draw, or Swansea in this one. Preston, draw, or Swansea. Will Russ Martin get another away win, or will Frankie McAvoy get another home win? There you go. Pretty binary on that one. Well, obviously there's the option of the draw. Let's see what you guys are saying. Scott Sinclair, Darby. Yes, indeed. Yeah, good shout, that one. Preston Nils, so Swansea, North End, draw. Draw, Swans, draw. Swans, home advantage, draw. Nice. Swans. Draw. Swans, draw. Backing my boys this week, away win. Swans. There we go. Swans. I think Swansea might click in this one. I think they might have a good opponent in Preston, because Preston will just keep trying to move them around. And it's got to come one week, hasn't it, where they do play through somebody. Let's go for it. Go on. Let's go for a bold prediction here. And a 4th away win of me for this round. Go on. Away, Swansea to beat Preston. What am I doing? I don't know. Millwall versus Blackburn is number 12, and then we'll do a bit of Q&A. Look, I've nearly timed it perfectly for the hour. Thoughts, please. Millwall versus, Blackpool, not Blackburn. I've got to start putting BLP for Blackpool on there rather than BLA. which is for Blackburn. Or maybe I should put BLR for Blackburn. Anyway, that's not important to any of you. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Millwall versus Blackpool. They are both tied up on 2 points from 4 games, which we all know is not sustainable form. You don't want to have 5 points after 10 games, or worse still, 10 points after 20 games. You're going down if that happens. But look, you know how it is. A win for either of these teams, and they're 5 points for 5 games, and everything looks very, very different, doesn't it? Millwall at home in this one. 2 straight defeats for the Lions. They lost at Cardiff. They lost at home to Fulham. Okay, Fulham are good. They drew to Blackburn before that. And it looked like a decent start away at QPR. It looks like a bit of an underperformance, I would suggest, for Millwall so far this season. Blackpool finally got Jerry Yates off the score sheet. And you have to say, pretty positive. I thought at 2-0 down, Blackpool, we might be talking about, oh, God, they got 1 point and have just lost 4-0 at Bournemouth. But they come back and drew 2-2. But remember, a 3-pointer is literally worth 3 times as much as a 1-1 draw, 2-2 draw. If you come back from 2-0 down, you've got to get those wins. Neither of these sides have done that so far. Dan Ballard's going to be coming up against the team he was on loan at last season, very successfully winning in the playoffs with Blackpool. And Millwall are odds on with Betfair to win this one. They are 6-5 on. Blackpool, you can make a bit of money there. Please gamble responsibly. BeGambleAware.org. If you want to take Betfair's 10-3 on Blackpool, let's have a look at your thoughts. I think Millwall have had a tough fixture list. Blackpool should be easiest game of the season so far. Need to win. Terrible home league record under Rowett. Pool competitive. A draw. Millwall are good for Blackpool, so I think it could be a big scoring game. One side. There you go. Luke's confident. They're a hard one to call. This bad start for both. Is Mahoney going to start? I know there's a few fans asking for a 4-4 F2 and Mahoney in, weren't they? Mill will need a win, or Rowett could be in big trouble. Rowett under a lot of pressure. Alex, if GR swallows his pride and goes 4 at the back, plays Mahoney, we could win 2 or 3-0. If not, draw again or 1-0 loss. So I want to put this one up. That is no way. No one here thinks Luton's a pushover after one game. Absolutely not. Go back and listen to what everybody said for sure. Right. Get your predictions in, please. Millwall, draw, or Blackpool. Millwall, draw, or Blackpool. I'm going to go ahead of the chat on this one and go for home. I think Millwall will have too much for Blackpool in this one, but I still want to see your predictions in the chat, please. Millwall, draw, or Blackpool, and then we can do a little bit of the Q&A. Predictions in, please. Millwall, draw, or Blackpool. Here we go. Paul, Millwall, Paul, Millwall, draw, Blackpool, Millwall. Draw, Blackpool, that's the Joker. Draw, Millwall, Blackpool. Fairly mixed. They're fairly mixed, but I think Millwall come good in that one. Right, anyone's got any questions? Let's do some Q&A for a few minutes. We'll go for 5 more minutes if you're up for hanging around. Let's just revisit all of the predictions that, my predictions that we've come up with here. I have gone for Fulham v Stoke, home win. Peterborough, West Brom, away win. QPR, Cov, draw. Cardiff, Bristol City, home. Hull, Bournemouth, away. Barnsley, Birmingham, draw. Borough, Blackburn, home. Really struggling with Blackpool and Blackburn, aren't I? Huddersfield, Reading, home. Luton, Sheffield United, draw. Derby, Forest, away. That was my joker, by the way. Don't get upset with me, Derby fans. Preston Swans away, Millwall, Blackpool, not Blackburn, a home win. Right, brilliant stuff. Let's go to some questions. Superstream Saturday. Yes, but I've got my fingers crossed. Leeds 2021. We'll figure out what we're doing. Should be 2 streams on Saturday in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, there's 3 options, and we'll figure out what they are, baby wise. What are my thoughts on the League Cup 3rd round draw? It all felt a bit depressing, didn't it? Like, really, nobody cared about. Like, may as well put them as friendlies at the start of the season now. So, and I'm sure you've all seen the tweets going around suggesting Premier League teams. What were they? 9 out of 9 and 40 goals for and 1 against EFL teams doing me. Huddersfield could stay up this season. What do I think? I think they've had a good start. I think they've put themselves in a good position, George. I think I predicted them to win again. So I suspect, and I'll answer this in a politician's way, I suspect the points per game will drop as we go towards Christmas for Huddersfield. But I don't suspect they'll be in much trouble before Christmas. So I think the window is then important, but it's going to be a tricky one. What's my Portugalis order? Just so this is not a complete in-joke between me and Don Ram. This is a takeaway in our village here. I want half a chicken with the hot sauce, some chips and corn on the cob on the side. Very nice. If Forest have to sell Worrell or Brennan Johnson before the deadline, who would you sell? Oh, that's a horrible question. You don't want to sell either of those two, do you, if you're a Forest fan? But you might have to. In terms of Championship stability, honestly, I'll probably sell Worrell because just having a goal creator and I just feel the price in the end for Johnson might go higher than Worrell. So, but I wouldn't want to sell either of them if I was a Forest fan, but I understand why. Try telling Wimbledon, Wickham or Rochdale fans the League Cup should be scrapped. No, I think they've got good fun draws, haven't they? How good was it to see Elland Road full and loud this weekend? Marching on together in full voice, and I hate saying that as a Millwall fan. Great to see everywhere full at the moment, isn't it? Rumours going round, Jordan Shipley on loan to Pompey, Joe Jacobson on a permanent to Cov. Wow. That's an interesting one. How old's Jacobson? Like 36 or something. There we go. Will Houghton get sacked if he loses to Darby? Well, there's losing and losing. I think if he loses heavily, I think he might actually. And I think Chris Houghton's a decent Championship manager. It's not working here, is it? But yeah, I think he might. Well, depends what type of defeat it is. I think Charlie is okay. David is asking about. Obviously, he had a big scare recently, but he has been active on Twitter, so good news. Connor Wickham, too big a risk to sign for Preston with injury issues? No, I don't think so. Sam, I think if the deal's written in the right way, bring him in, pay him nicely if he plays, pay him even better if he plays and scores, and if he doesn't, don't pay him very much. And he's not signing anywhere else. I assume he's holding out because he's been on a lovely contract at Crystal Palace, hasn't he? Indeed. What else are we saying here? Hal, will I be attending? Oh, I should plug that, shouldn't I? Football Content Awards in October. DM me about that, Hal, because I was speaking to the lads at the East Anglian Daily Times, and we might get a table together. So if you want to sit together, yeah, I might well go. Depends who I can sit with, whatnot. Please, yeah, Football Content Awards. You have to do a tweet. If you go on my Twitter and scroll down a bit, just copy and paste the tweet that. And you can vote for our channel here. Look, I'll be completely honest with you. There's some pretty big hitters in the category I'm in, but it's very lovely to be acknowledged, and it might be a fun day out. So please do go and vote. DK to Leeds. Would it be good? Yeah, sounds great, actually. I assume he'd be back up to Bamford if he did. But yeah, he was tremendous for Barnsley last season. Big, powerful player, decent finisher. I think he'd fit in nicely. Looks a good player. Why did Scott Parker not put a better team out in the cup? I wanted a cup run and was not happy. Doesn't care about the EFL cup. It's extra fixtures, concentrated on the league. Presumably doesn't think they've got a chance of winning it. Man City win it every year, don't they? So bailing out. Thoughts on EFL Cup squads? Premier League clubs making wholesale changes. One thing, when half the EFL make loads of changes, it becomes a farce. West Brom didn't have a single first 11 in their match squad. Yeah, it does look a bit of a farce, doesn't it? It like you say, Premier League reserves against Championship reserves. Neither team wants to risk anyone. I think even the big boys still play reserves all the way up to the semis and the final, don't they? So, yes, it does look a little bit flaky at the moment, these first rounds of the EFL Cup, doesn't it? Jed was to leave us, Millwall that is, which club would be a good suitor? West Ham? I know you probably don't want to hear that. You're looking for someone with the money to be able to do the deal where they could develop him. And West Ham has been one for taking Championship players. Obviously, a bit of a rivalry between Millwall and West Ham. Other than that, I don't know. How about if Kiefer Moore went for a lot of money to Wolves out of Cardiff? Maybe he'd go to Cardiff. I don't know. It would take either Premier League money or someone with parachute money or who've just done a deal that just went in. What else are we saying here? Do you think Blues 5-0 win over Luton will give them confidence to start scoring plenty of goals and winning games? Well, it should do, shouldn't it? But look, Birmingham aren't going to win 5-0 every week. They're not going to win 5-0 away from home every week. Perhaps they might not even win 5-0 through the season again. We'll see. But certainly for, look, let's be honest, in the chat here, Birmingham fans have been bashing Hogan, haven't they? And he scored 2 goals. So there's confidence there. Chong played beautifully, didn't he? So, yeah, it should move things on, but it won't be the precedent, let's just say. But it's a brilliant performance for Birmingham as well. Can I review the England squad? I didn't know they brought one out. Yes, I will for sure. Will a Championship or Top League One club take a gamble on Jack? Well, surely they will. Surely someone can give him a deal that says, if you play, we'll pay you this much. The problem is he's been paid a fortune in his life. But it's up to Jack Wilshere now. If he wants to go and play somewhere, he can. But he's not going to make anywhere near what he made at Arsenal or West Ham. So, yeah, we'll see. Didn't he train at Reading last year for a while before he went to Bournemouth? Am I imagining that? Not signing Andre Gray as he wants. No, do not pay Andre Gray 70 grand a week. Goodness me. Deary me. Miles, thoughts on Moore leaving us? What I've seen on Collins, he don't seem to cut it. Worrying at times. Look, if you're a Cardiff fan, you wouldn't want to sell Kiefer Moore. But, the money would be nice. Parachutes are done at Cardiff now, aren't they? And is he the most saleable asset there? Possibly. It would be a brilliant story, wouldn't it? For Kiefer to go through essentially up the leagues and find his way to the Premier League. So from a romantic standpoint, I think it'd be a good story, wouldn't it? But it would weaken Cardiff, of course. It would. When are Town going to start winning? On Saturday, apparently, Alex. But I'll believe it when I see it. Right. I think we're good, aren't we? Are we good? Bamford for England. Has the squad come out yet then? Or am I reviewing it once it's done? Depends if the money's too good to refuse. Yeah, I don't think they'll get too good to refuse money, but they'll get good money. It'll be slightly less than too good to refuse them, Katie, won't it? Right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for all your predictions. As ever, this has been our preview show for Championship Round 5. Look, we'll figure out what we're doing over the weekend as it pertains to Superstream, Forest, Derby, Peterborough, West Brom, and how much time I can sort of generate whilst trying to do fatherhood things. Thanks as ever, wrong side, mirrored, to Betfair and Football 365 for our sponsors for these shows. If you want to shout out, pop it in there and I'll stick it in over the advert at the end. We should be back. I know he's not feeling well with Nappers later on today, hopefully, with the League One Dearly Departed show. And I will bid you all farewell and say enjoy the footballing weekend. And thank you all very much for watching. Over and out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.